Well, hello, my FME friends. It is day 3 of the 12 Days of FME. Actually, there's going to be near 14 days, but that's okay. It's just a name. So I wanted to give a rundown of where we are right now, where some of the leading balloons are, and answer some questions that have been asked on the forums and cover some hints and tips that you might not really be aware of unless you've read the help page really carefully. So, let's have a look where we are right now. Well, if I click on here and look at the map, you can see all of the balloons started in the UK. Half of them seem to have gone north, the other half went south. We started at a pretty good day because there's some pretty strong winds around now. The balloons who went north, maybe they've been caught in this anti-cyclone and it's sort of spinning them around, and that's not necessarily so great, but it is what it is. And the balloons that have gone south, they've done really well. They've swept down over France, Algeria, Morocco, Tunisia. What have we got there? Libya, Egypt. So why are they taking that very sharp turn to the east? Well, if we look at the weather for today, there's a very strong, you call it a jet stream, going over the North Atlantic, over Britain, swooping down, and then heading off to the east, over North Africa, Algeria, Libya, Egypt, etc., Jordan, Saudi Arabia, and on through Iraq, Iran, all across the east. So if your balloon is at this altitude, which is 10,000 meters, and you're in this rough area, you're going to be going pretty fast, like 240, 220, 200, 211. So you're going to be moving across a lot of lines of longitude and a lot of countries today. And I don't think there's that many airports in there. So if you're in that zone right now, you're going to do pretty good, I think. If you're just taking off from Britain, well, this dark area here, I wondered why it was a bit darker. And if you click on it, you'll find out why. It's because the air speeds are up to over 300 kilometers an hour. So if you were taking off today or hereabouts, you could really be at getting up some high speed, which of course speed is one of the categories for which we're giving prizes. So that would be pretty awesome if you got up to 300 kilometers an hour. In our test, I don't think we got above like 230, 240. So 300 is pretty impressive. So if you're in that zone, look at the weather. I don't know what it looks like at a lower level, because obviously you'll need oxygen for your balloon at that height. If you go down to, say, 4,200 meters, well, you're getting the same weather pattern, the same strong flow from across the Atlantic down and then across North Africa. You're just not going as fast. So you can save your oxygen and travel a bit slower, and maybe it'll help you steer around whatever airports there are as well. So there's that to consider. The folks who went north, well, you can see that anti-cyclone they're stuck in. There's the one balloon, which is a bit unlucky, really. This one here, what are they called? Let me click on there. AESGO. I thought yesterday, they're going to head over Greenland and pick up points for Greenland, but the wind seems to have just swept them down the coast, which is maybe a thing that happens there. Maybe the winds do flow down that coastline. So I think Greenland counts as North America, which would have been 10 points for picking up a new continent, 5 points for a country, an extra point for being the first to that country. So that would have been some great points if they just snuck into Greenland. But it is what it is. Let's see what else we can talk about. So the contest records. I had to make a change to the contest records already. One of the categories is the closest somebody came to an airport zone without actually going into it. And I had to change that. Before I got it set to kilometers, and now it's down to meters because someone came within 0.2 of a meter of crossing into this airport. So let's have a look at that. That's going to be Cairns Airport, which is down here. So we got one either side that was close, but I think this one's the closest. Yeah, zooming right here, like, wow, that is really, I don't know if that's 0.2 of a meter or not, but it's pretty close. So that's the closest anyone's come to crossing over an airport zone without actually crossing into it. So maybe the distance measurement is, because lat long to meters is always a little bit challenging. But yeah, so I had to change that from kilometers to meters because people were coming really close. AES GOR still the closest to come to the safe office, which is another price category. But we'll have to see about that, because as the people go east, they'll get closer to it from the other direction. Oh, wow, I just noticed somebody flew into Asia, which 1340. So what time is it now? That must be, okay, 3 or 4 hours ago. So yeah, somebody's gone over into Asia, which is pretty amazing. I didn't notice that at the time, but let's see. Niger, Greece, Egypt. What counts as, maybe it's part of Russia, because Russia is obviously split into half Europe, half Asia. So they must have crossed over that boundary, I think. But yeah, people are picking up lots of different countries, and you can see who the first person to overfly each country was, and that will give them an extra point as well. So that's always worth doing that. Let's see. What else have we got? Well, the most overflown airports, that's another category you can win in. More from GIS Wizards. 10 airports already. That's really racking up the penalties. But again, that is a prize for the person who gets the most. So you could go for that. London Luton Airport and London Gatwick. Well, that's not surprising because we started from there. Charles de Gaulle and Brussels Airport as well. Again, the winds were blowing people in that direction. How many countries have we flown over? I don't think it actually says how many countries as a total we've flown over. The most, well, there's 4 teams tied on 9 countries so far, which is pretty incredible. France is the most popular flown over country, apart from the UK, where everyone started from, obviously. These are all the countries we've been over now. So, yeah, lots of countries covered, lots more still to cover, I think. I think we're going to see a lot more over the Middle East in the next 12 to 24 hours. Over Iran, Iraq, Syria, Jordan, Turkey, because of that wind sweeping everyone across. So I think we'll see that. No one gone over Slovakia, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, or Belarus, that would be. And Moldova's been missed as well, and so has Bulgaria. What else? Albania, Kosovo, North Macedonia, and it's not Bosnia. It's not. Is it Serbia? Serbia, maybe. Yeah. So there's still plenty of countries to pick up anyway as a first visit, and even if it's not your first visit, you can still. You're not the first to visit. You still earn points. Yeah, some amazing speed, 281 kilometers. That's pretty amazing going. If we look at the leaderboard, I should say that the most points you can get for a speed is 50 points. So anything over 200 kilometers an hour will get you 50 points, and that's your limit for speed points. So once you've got that, you don't need to worry too much about the speed, apart from if you want to carry on and make the distance. So, yeah, Cloud Chaser out in the lead. Gitter Paul Mitten is second. Yeah, doing pretty well. Only 1 or 2 airports each. Wow. Nika Tensing. No airports at all so far, which is pretty incredible. Yeah, 6 different countries, no airports. I'm impressed. Yeah, so if we scroll to the bottom, we'll see how many people we've got in the contest now. 277. Wow, that is pretty crazy. I don't know how we how we managed to get that many people. That's fantastic. Well, thank you for playing. I did notice yesterday that somebody had a negative score. I think it might have been alley up, because they'd gone through so many airports without getting a decent speed score, without getting any continents, or only 1 continent. They were on -4, I think, at one point. But Yeah, they've improved. So, yeah, 270 people, that's incredible. But, I mean, don't give up wherever you are. If you're down at the bottom of that list, you can still make up some points. Like I said, the 50-point people at the top have got 50 points for the speed, but that's the maximum, so you can still catch up on speed points. And again, you can always, I hesitate to say this, but you can always delete your balloon and create a new one and start all over again. So if you look at the weather and think, well, I didn't do too well so far, maybe I'd be better off launching a second time, we'll let you do that. You can delete your balloon, put it a new launch location and start again. Obviously, you lose all your points you've got so far, but you might think it's worth it to get where you are, to get a fresh start. Let's see. Yeah, those are the big ones to look at, I think, the leaderboard and the records. Recent activity, that's always interesting, especially if you turn off the commands. This is the last 200 events that happened, so yeah, you can see who's gone over which airports, and you can check your events only. So I just went over a new country and a new meridian. I think I might increase that to be a larger number than just 200, because it's sometimes difficult to see what you've done once they go off the bottom 200. Although, again, you could download that data and get all of the events and filter them to see what you've been doing. So you could do that if you wanted. A couple of questions from yesterday. One was about when does the weather report get updated? Because obviously we're simulating this data. So what happens is we simulate the data at 12-hour blocks at a time. So that's at just before 12 a.m. UTC and 12 p.m. UTC. So 12 midnight, 12 midday UTC time, or just before then. What we do is we rerun the simulation on where your balloon is at the moment and simulate where it'll be in the next 12 hours if it continued at the same elevation. We don't change any parameters. We don't make you move up and down. We just say this is where you'll be. This is what we're simulating for the next 12 hours from where you are. So, and you'll see that as well in the recent events. If you do look at commands only, you might find that a lot of the commands say, okay, so I think we've gone past all of the automatic ones from 12 p.m. earlier, but all of the automatic ones will say balloon, maintain flight level, whatever, and that'll be an automatic command. So basically every 12 hours is when the weather matches up with where your balloon is exactly at that point. And obviously for the next 12 hours, what we've simulated, it might vary a bit from what turns out with the weather. If you think that's the case, if you think your balloon can do better, then issue a new command. Go and say, hey, I'd like to change where my balloon is altitude-wise, or even stay at the same altitude. I'm not sure what mine's at, but you can say, I'll stay at the same altitude, click OK, and it'll basically rerun the simulation whenever you issue that new command. So if you think your balloon's not performing as well as the weather at that point suggests, issue a new command. If you think your balloon's performing better than the weather suggests, well then leave it as it is and just be grateful that the simulation was off in your favor. Obviously, we've got these buttons here. You can listen to the air traffic control. I don't know why I put this on there. It was just a little bit of fun.
Charlie Lima 7 Whiskey. Descend and maintain
so
flight
yeah,
level
we can
4,
listen to the air traffic control. I don't know if this is going to come through on the video.
Descend and maintain flight level 500 at 7 meters per second.
And that's
Lima
just
7 Whiskey.
that's made on the fly actually by FME. So it makes up the text. It sends it off to a workspace. It sends it off to an API that generates the voice automatically. Basically, what do they call it? Text to speech. So that's what that does automatically. We just want to show you all of the things that you can do with FME and these amazing functionality that's available to you. So, yeah, that's, excuse me, that's what I've got going on right now. So, I think probably 15 minutes is enough talking. So yeah, I'm really pleased to see everyone's balloon traveling so well. Let me just refresh that page. What I hope to do today is make a new little app for the front page which lets you change your team name if you really wanted to. But we'll have a look about that. But yeah, you can turn on all of these different things. And this is also coming directly from FME as well. So it takes a little bit of while to load the airports because there's a lot of airport data and it's actual polygon data rather than point data, because we want to do a line on area overlay. So that's why it takes a little bit longer to read all of that data, and the country's data even more so, because there's a lot of countries in the world, a lot of vertices. But yeah, so everyone seems to be doing amazing stuff right now. If I turn on the continents border, actually, we'll probably see where somebody crossed over into Asia for the first time. I suspect it'll be somewhere around here. Yeah, there we go. That's the border into Asia. So 2 balloons, third one just about to go into there. Somebody crossed over. That's the Russian. I have to turn the continent off, but that's the rocket launch. The Cosmodrome in North Russia, and there's another one down here in is that Kazakhstan? Yeah, those are the big ones to avoid, but they're really big boundaries, so sometimes it's a bit difficult. But there you go. Okay, I will stop talking. Have a great day. I hope you're having fun studying all the wind conditions at different elevations. You can change the model in Windy, by the way, and plus there are other weather forecasting tools out there, but you can change the forecasting tool. I think the API we use does use this ECMWF, so I think it's the right data model, but I can't be sure, but it's close enough, I think. Anyway, yeah, I'll stop. I hope you're enjoying the contest. Have a great day, and maybe I'll put another video out tomorrow, or maybe sometime in the next few days after that. Okay, bye.